Welcome everyone to this brutally honest review of the FIFA 23 Career Mode trailer. In a nutshell, I'm going to convince you that this game sucks, but you still should buy it because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Before we dive in and start analyzing the video, I just want to let you all know that I cannot play the actual video itself as we go through it because I will get flagged for copyright infringement. But what I am going to do is take a lot of screenshots and we're going to go through them in great detail. This was the first image that we saw of what the menu is going to look like. Initially, when we first look at the screen, the first things that we're going to notice is the microfinance tab, which under it there are three tabs: decisions, shoppings, and investments, which we will dive into more detail in a little bit. But for now, let us focus on the top right corner of the screen. The first thing in the top right, let's focus on the red circle, and we can see over here we have some money. Now, previously, we knew that our incomes were absolutely useless in player career mode, but now it seems like they're going to have some function. As we can see in the top kind of center of the image, we have this shopping tab with the number 23 on top of it. And it seems like as we advance in this player career mode in FIFA 23, that we're going to be unlocking new items, kind of like what we did when we were playing My Journey in the previous editions of FIFA. Now, if you focus on everything that is tagged in green, we can see that this player's overall is 67, and it looks like they increased the max level from level 25 to level 40. Unfortunately, we cannot know what the maximum amount of skill points are because we see 99 plus. We know that in the previous edition, the maximum amount of skill points was 110. It would be very unfortunate if we still have the same amount of skill points because we will see further on that the skill tree still, for the most part, looks the same. Now, the last thing that we're going to notice up here is the Maverick personality trait, and that is going to be something we will cover later on in the video. In summary, these are the new things that they brought to career mode. We have player personality, playable highlights, new menus, dynamic movement, transfer analysis, and authentic managers. And now let's dive into player personality to understand what this really means. Now it looks like we have three different personalities. We have the virtuoso, the heartbeat, and the maverick. And there looks to be different tiers. I've seen some images where it says tier 1, others where it says tier 2, such as this one, and others where it says tier 3. I think we will be unlocking personality points based on decisions that we take during the game. It seems like every now and then we're going to be facing some key decisions that we have to take, and depending on how we do, we are going to get some personality points. Here you can see an example of some of the decisions that we're going to have to make. The first one's low match performance, second one's commit to improving, and the third one is read a book by a club legend. Also, it seems another way which we will be getting personality points is going to be through the shopping tab. I was kind of disappointed at first that we aren't going to be able to buy some cosmetics from the shopping tab, but I did see something, if you're looking closer, that kind of makes up for it, and I think is an excellent feature. If we look at buy a top end bike, we can see over here that we get +1 strength. This is an excellent feature because, we need that strength. We're not going to put our skill points in strength when we can put them in dribbling and attacking and other stuff. And the only other way to increase our strength in FIFA is by increasing our weight and height, which seems a little bit unreasonable if we want sprint speed and acceleration. Now back to this screen right here, which I shall dub the personality tree. I'm not really sure how this works, but all I know at this point is it seems like we can only select one at a time, and that is going to boost certain attributes. At first, I didn't really think much of it, but now that I know that we still have the skill tree going on, this in conjunction with that and being able to buy some items that will increase some of our stats is really going to help us increase our overalls in FIFA 23 player career mode. In general, it's too early to judge, but I'm a judge anyway, and I'm going to tell you that the only reason I'm excited about these personalities is because it might give us that boost. Now, these images over here actually show us what the tier 3 of the personalities are going to look like, and it seems like for the heartbeat, it's going to give us +5 in volley, vision, reaction, ball control, short pass crossing, and long shots. And I think the same is going to apply for everything, and it doesn't seem like the tier is universal, so you're going to have to level them up tier by tier for each and every single one of the personalities. Now, looking at the skill trees and where we allocate our attributes, it doesn't look like anything has changed over here. I still see the physical, defending, dribbling, passing, shooting, pace, and goalkeeping as the only skill trees available. And looking right now at the passing skill tree, it doesn't look like anything is different. And looking over here at the shooting attributes, it also looks like everything is the same and nothing has changed. Unfortunately, they did not show us what's going on in pace, goalkeeping, physical, defending, and dribbling, so we cannot tell if anything has changed there. This is very unfortunate, and honestly, I found this very disappointing. The least FIFA could have done for FIFA 23 player career mode was expand the skill tree to allow us to create more diverse builds. Playable highlights is definitely a welcome feature and something that's going to be a game changer for player career mode and manager career mode. If you're anything like me, you don't feel like playing every single game, especially late on in your career, and at the same time, you're discouraged from simming the game because it doesn't really matter how good your team is. It always seems like Crystal Palace is going to defeat Barcelona 4-1 in a Champions League game. Now, another thing I wanted to cover, and a little bit off topic, this image right here from the actual trailer to kind of show you how little thought was put into making this trailer and all the images that came with it. If you look at the top right part of the corner, we see that this is a striker build with an overall of 74. For some reason, the striker build has three perks. The first is tireless runner, not a bad one to have. The last is skilled dribbler, definitely not a bad one to have. But if you look at that middle perk, the striker of the team has the perk last defender, and this is probably an indication of how knowledgeable the devs are of player career mode and shows you their level of understanding for what the game is really about. Now, one thing interesting in this image that actually got my attention was one of the archetypes called Hawk. I don't recall seeing that previously. Let's hope it's a new perk and not just a stock image that they put in here just to kind of fool us into buying the game. Another welcome change is dynamic moments, which is coming both to player career mode and manager career mode. This will definitely add to the immersiveness of the game and make it feel a little more genuine. I just really hope it's not going to be repetitive cutscenes so they don't get really boring real quick to the point where we have to start skipping them. Now on to manager career mode. The menu looks different, it looks nicer, it looks smoother. It looks like we're going to have easier time maneuvering between different menus, kind of going into transfers. I've always hated the way the transfer menu worked, and especially when you're dealing with scouts. So I hope all these changes have made it much easier. Now, as for this feature, transfer analysis, to be completely honest, I wasn't a fan. I think this is a complete waste of time and they could have focused their energy on other things. I don't want to know that I overpaid for Haaland after I bought him. I just want to put him on my squad and win myself some games. This is not the change that the devs should have focused on when it comes to manager career mode. If they had the time to do this, then I hope they found the time to really revamp the club objectives mechanic. Because as it is right now, you could be coaching like Sheffield United, and for some reason, the board seems it very fitting to ask you to sign Haaland, Mbappe, and Vinicius Jr. in one season before even making it to the Premier League and sign them for under $20. Also, really disappointing and real quick is the fact that they didn't change this. It got real boring really quick, and it's nothing was really changed when it comes to it. All you do right now is see a grade at the end that tells you how you did after your transfer is complete. Another change that was implemented was AI tactics. Hopefully, this means that they'll stop playing Donnarumma as a forward and Neymar as a goalkeeper. But all jokes aside, I really appreciate this feature and I think it's going to be good. The fact that the AI is going to cope with the changes that you make in the game. And finally, for the last changes that we're going to talk about when it comes to manager career mode is the fact that you can now have authentic managers. This is definitely going to be a lot of fun. A lot of people enjoy playing with other managers. Also, if you take a quick look at the top left side of the screen, we can see that two new customizations have been added. One of them seems to be socks and the other one seems to be shades. This is definitely a very welcome change in manager career mode. Finally, and probably the best change in my personal opinion, is the fact that FIFA added a third kit and a custom goalkeeper kit for manager career mode. Previously, all we could create was our home and away kit, and now we have two other options that'll definitely add to the immersiveness of the game and make it feel a little bit more personal to us. Overall, I think FIFA 23 career mode sucks, but it's not gonna suck as bad as FIFA 22 player career mode. So, as sucky as it is, it still has some interesting features, and I am gonna, without a doubt, be playing it all the time. And I'm looking forward to the day that it releases. I'm a sucker for career mode, and it's that feeling of wanting to get into a new career. If you're on the fence of whether you want to buy it or not, I will make a video assessing it more, and especially after I get my 20 hours of early access. I will let you guys know whether it's worth buying or not at that point. But initially, now, just looking at the new things that are being implemented, it's definitely worth giving it a try.